What is up, Mama Jumbos? Bazzes here, and welcome to my own paper walls. And this is a text novel, so it's gotta be a lot of reading with my creepy voice. And that's it. I don't really know much more. I don't know if there are any jump scares or so. So let's get right into my own paper walls. Tara is roped into spending the night at the decommissioned middle school with a group of internet friends. Decisions you make, all the details you notice change the story. Headphones and dark room are recommended to the best experience. So put on your headphones, light off, and let's get into this story. The day before we were all to meet at the school, a killer whale beached itself just outside of town. What about a killer whale? It's 8:30 p.m. though. It's like before the start of the party. For a while people thought it might be still alive and that there would be some way to push it back to her old life. As the smell of rotting flesh wafted from the beach, those plants were put outside. As the body decayed, the calf inside her was exposed. It was a sad situation for a pregnant orca to beach herself. But nature reacted coldly. The birds and insects descended on the scene and turned it from tragedy to a feast. In some ways it was fitting backdrop to our meeting. Alright, even with the smell of the beached whale on the wind, the group of us had decided to check out our old middle school. It was a desperate bit to try find any paranormal about St. Mary. Who's St. Mary? St. Mary was initially a trading post for furs, and the fur industry died. It became a logging town. As the logging industry died, it invested into chronic depression and heroin. I don't know, maybe that's too harsh, but wandering among the junk shops and boarded up windows tended to make me depressed. You'd expect a town like this to be haunted by nothing, but nothing I ever seen. Haunted? Oh boy. A lot of us in town were desperate to find some haunted location. An old Trappist cemetery, a dusty stone church being reclaimed by nature, a rusty sawmill where someone fell into machinery and wanders the grounds, a haphazard mess of human form. What the fuck? Unfortunately, nothing like that excited around here. Just houses decrepit from economic contraction and waterlogged and encroachment of green from the Pacific Northwest rainforest. A few years of abandonment might make the old middle school something creepy, at least that's what Becca thought. Who is Becca? Becca was a year older than me. I wouldn't call her a friend because we had only hang out a few times. She's a bit too on edge for me. She's trying to cram as much living into small span of time as possible. The more I hang out with her, the more I feel like I could get seriously injured or arrested. I don't understand the appeal. I've been to her apartment a handful of times, but it's not a way I'd like to live. I can't really leave my parents' house anyway. Why though? Her apartment, understand the appeal. What the fuck was that? Last time I saw where Becca lived, it was a small studio. It was seemingly endless clutter that she'd pick through to show me items that she was particularly proud of. Her and I shared interests, but I think we were different people beyond that. I guess it's cool she lived on her own. Her parents moved from St. Mary after they divorced, and she decided to stay for some reason. Maybe she had to. I can't imagine that she wanted to. Becca was weird enough for that to be true though. Different people shared interests. That's the choice. Becca and I always got along talking about horror movies. We both seem to have an obsession with that kind of thing. It doesn't take long to watch all the ones people know. In order to have anyone to talk to, Becca and I would go online and meet people there. I always felt like I have to come the entire world to find friends all from the safety of my room. Sometimes I feel like I was selling myself short, projecting myself as some kind of expert on a solitary subject. I tried to remind myself it was just a presence to bring people to me. I get them to want to talk to me. Okay, when I thought about it, I did spend a lot of time in my room. Tonight was going to be a strange night, but it could be fun to try something new, and maybe Becca's friends could be as cool in person as they seem to be online. Okay, the idea of going in abandoned school with a bunch of weirdos Becca knew off the internet wasn't the best plan. I probably would have gone if she hadn't spent hours texting me begging me to go. This is her chance to meet some guy she likes in person. Not sure what kind of first date this is, but it doesn't surprise me at all from her. To go. Becca was supposed to be here any minute. We had planned to leave her car at my house and walk to the school together. It's only about a mile and a half, and we won't have to worry about someone seeing our cars there. It still doesn't sit well with me, but I'm sure nothing too drastic has happened in 5 or so years and been sitting empty. Any minute. I don't want to sit well. Okay. Alright. I hear the sound of tires crackling across the loose gravel in the dry dirt. I grabbed my bag and head out the door. I wasn't sure what to bring besides a flashlight and some extra clothes. Becca greeted me, leaning against her car. We exchanged an awkward quietly hey as we trackled towards the school. I hung back behind Becca, keeping my eyes only half open. I followed the crunch of her feet into the gravel of the side of the road. Becca and I walked along to the roads of the school. It was only slightly chilly, with the wind from the sea making the jacket necessary. All the better, really. It was going to be cold tonight, no matter what. The first few minutes were awkward and quiet. Eventually, Becca spoke up. "One cigarette?" She already started fumbling through the front pockets of her backpack. I didn't smoke. If I don't smoke, don't want to start, so no, thank you. No, thanks. Becca gave a little to no reaction. It was the response she expected, I guess. I don't smoke and I haven't had the urge to start. Yeah, that's cool. She pulled out a long lighter from her backpack, and the kind you would use for a grill or while you were camping. She kept the cigarette parallel as she lit the end. Obviously, with her hand much further than normal, I noticed she had the gas turned up as far as it could go, making for exaggeratedly large flame from the end of the lighter. She took a few drags from her cigarette. As uncomfortable silence permeated to walk like a fog. Perhaps it was the chill. It's fucking still 8:30 p.m. and I'm like 10 minutes in. Perhaps it was the chill of the wind from the sea, but there was a distinct coldness coming out from Becca. I wasn't keen on the grounding distance between us. I spoke up. "So who's coming to the thing tonight? Anyone I know?" It was common for me to have some ignore when Becca was being rude, to try and smooth things over. I don't know what she was expecting, asking the person who doesn't smoke if they want a cigarette. In her mind, I'm guessing it was perfectly legitimate to take no as a result. Becca gave me uncertain laugh. "I don't know. I don't think so. There's Danny, Kevin, and Chris. I don't think you ever talked to them." "Oh, okay." Danny, Devin, Chris. Okay, who would of these boys would like Becca? Becca and Danny, Becca, Kevin, Becca, Chris. I think it's Chris. Chris is a badass name. Chris is really chill. I think he plays guitar or something. He and Kevin have a band, and I don't know if they're good. They live like 30 miles away. Chris and I talk about music a lot. I think his mom died or something like that, but I don't really remember. Chris always blends into things, like he's an audience to what's going on, like you. Hey, that's my boy. Becca was always the most charming person to talk to. If you had to deal with Becca, being an audience was the best way to go about it. The Chris guy probably wasn't so bad and was actually normal, except for the meeting strangers you barely know in the bad building thing. What about Danny? What about Kevin? What about Danny? Danny sex bang? Yeah, I don't think you'll want to talk to Danny. He and I are kind of the thing. I showed him pictures of you a night together, and I think he's into you at all. What kind of garbage is this? Maybe I don't care if he's into me. I don't know this guy at all. I'm just saying you should probably just not to talk to him. Okay, he has some deals with me. Becca has been jealous type before. I remember at least hearing that back in school from time to time. I think I can recall a story or two of her freaking out a guy talking to a girl she hated or something stupid like that. I'm not really interested in getting close to anyone tonight anyway. If she needs me to blend in with the background so she can have her stupid laugh fest with Danny, I'm more than happy to. Oh, Danny is her guy. Kevin's badass. I remember we were trying to sneak into a bar and some guy gave us a look or something. Kevin basically in this guy's face, ready to fight. I think he's like a drummer or something in the band. He seems like a drummer anyway. Becca seems drawn to the kind of people who were reactive as her. It made me feel like maybe our friendship was fake. Maybe Becca just likes me to be a captive audience. The Athena broadcasting her latest exploit. That looks like Chloe and Max a little bit. Maybe it's like was inspired by Life is Strange. Boy oh boy, 12 minutes in and we are still at 8:30 p.m. Holy moly. As we talked, we made up to the grounds of school. If I hadn't gone here just a little while ago, it might have had some scary about it. Instead, a perfectly normal building sat atop an overgrown lot. The building itself had only slightly more weathering than I recall. We tried a different doors until we found one that had already been broken into. Next to it was the spray paint tag of name. I couldn't read but recognized the cross town. It got me wondering that what person does these tags and for what purpose. It's probably lonely being the only person in a place that vandalizes. You don't even have anyone to brag or compete with. We stepped inside. Hey, the music changed, my god. All the anxiety I had about the place more or less evaporated when we stepped in. Sure, it had the creepy quality of being empty when I had only ever seen it full of people, but otherwise it was normal. Some papers were strewn across the floor and there was more grime on steps than before. A part of me thought this would be a real challenge and I'd have to act tough. But instead, it just felt the same as before. Becca looked excited though, so at least there's that. No one else has had a ride yet. Becca and I pulled up some chairs we found strewn about around the front desk. As we sat down next to each other to wait for the others, it almost felt like we were two coworkers in a crappy job. We were the unlikely pair of friends bonded only by our mutual distaste for what we did for a paycheck. Here we were ready to check people into St. Mary's Haunted Middle School. Yes, thank you for choosing our prestigious school. Your graffiti class will be right outside the door. And if you would like to take a dip in the empty swimming pool, be sure to jump in the deep end to show you how hardcore you are. It was going to be a long, boring wait, I think. 10 p.m. Party crash. Alright, so I think I will do this like partly. I don't know if it's saving my progress though. And I don't know how long it is. But I will record the second part right now and we'll see what's going on. So thank you so much for watching. Smash that like button if you did. Leave a comment down below what you think about this game and should I do more like these creepy stories? And I don't know, the purpose of it is like a haunted story or something. So we will see in the next episode. So smash or subscribe if you're new. The notification bell to know when my videos go live. Upload every single day. So see you all in the next video. Bye.